Hello, my beautiful friend. I want you to take a deep breath with me right now. Just breathe in love and breathe out anything that doesn't serve you. Feel yourself settling into this moment, knowing that you are exactly where you need to be. I'm so grateful that you're here with me today, and I want you to know that your presence in this space is no accident. The universe has brought us together for a reason, and that reason is love. I know that life can feel overwhelming sometimes. There are days when everything seems to pile up on you, when the bills feel too heavy, when relationships feel strained, when your body doesn't feel quite right, or when your heart feels a little empty. These are the moments when we feel most disconnected, most alone, most like we're carrying the weight of the world on our shoulders. But what if I told you that in those very moments, you have access to the most powerful force in the universe? What if I told you that this force is not only available to you, but it's actually waiting for you to call upon it? Today, we're going to explore something that can completely transform your life. It's simple, it's free, and it's available to you every single moment of every single day. We're going to talk about calling on source energy and how doing this 100 times throughout your day can open the floodgates to miracles in your life. Now, when I say source, I'm talking about that infinite loving intelligence that created everything. You might call it God, the universe, divine love, higher power, or any name that feels right in your heart. The name doesn't matter. What matters is the connection. I want you to think about a time when you felt completely supported, completely loved, completely at peace. Maybe it was a moment in nature. Maybe it was holding a sleeping baby. Maybe it was a quiet moment of prayer or meditation. In that moment, you were connected to Source. You were feeling the energy that is always there, always available, always ready to surround you with love and support. This energy doesn't come and go based on whether you deserve it or whether you've been good enough. This energy is constant, like the sun that shines, whether we can see it or not. The beautiful truth is that source energy is not separate from you. It's not something outside of you that you have to beg or plead with. Source energy is the very essence of who you are. It's the love that beats your heart, the intelligence that heals your cuts, the creativity that flows through your thoughts. When you call on Source, you're not asking for something foreign to help you. You're remembering who you truly are. You're aligning yourself with the love and power that already lives within you. So many of us have been taught to believe that we're small, that we're powerless, that we have to struggle through life alone. These beliefs create a wall between us and our source. They make us feel disconnected, afraid, and limited. But these are just thoughts, and thoughts can be changed. Every time you call on Source, you're dissolving these old, limiting beliefs. You're remembering your true nature as a beloved child of the universe, deserving of all good things. When you make the decision to call on Source 100 times throughout your day, you're making a declaration to the universe. You're saying, I choose to live in connection rather than separation. I choose to live in love rather than fear. I choose to open my heart to the miracles that are waiting for me. This choice changes everything because it changes you from the inside out. Now let's talk about what this relationship with Source really means in your everyday life. Many people think that spirituality is something separate from daily living, something you do for a few minutes in the morning or evening. But the truth is, your relationship with Source is meant to be woven into every aspect of your existence. It's meant to be as natural as breathing, as constant as your heartbeat. When you understand that Source is not separate from you, everything shifts. You begin to see that every challenge is an opportunity to deepen your connection. Every moment of uncertainty becomes a chance to trust in something greater than your limited perspective. Every interaction becomes a sacred exchange of love. This doesn't mean that life becomes perfect or that you never face difficulties. It means that you never face them alone. Your relationship with Source is like a muscle that grows stronger with use. The more you call upon this energy, the more available it becomes to you. The more you trust in this support, the more evidence you'll see of its presence in your life. It's a beautiful, expanding cycle of connection and trust that creates the perfect conditions for miracles to unfold. Think about a garden that receives water once a week versus a garden that receives gentle, consistent moisture every day. The daily watered garden doesn't just survive, it thrives. Its roots grow deep, its leaves stay green, its flowers bloom abundantly. This is what happens to your life when you maintain consistent contact with Source energy. You don't just get by, you flourish. Your inner strength grows deep. Your peace stays constant, and miracles bloom naturally in your experience. So many people feel disconnected from Source because they're waiting for dramatic spiritual experiences or expecting to hear a booming voice from the heavens. But Source communicates through the gentle voice of intuition, through synchronicities, through the feeling of love that washes over you when you're kind to someone, through the peace you feel in nature. Source is always speaking to you through life itself. When you call on Source regularly, you become more sensitive to these subtle communications. You start to notice the guidance that's always been there. The disconnection that causes struggle and limitation in our lives is really just a forgetting. We forget that we're connected to infinite love and support. We forget that we're worthy of miracles. We forget that the universe is conspiring in our favor. When we operate from this state of forgetting, we try to control everything with our limited minds. We exhaust ourselves trying to force outcomes. We live in stress and anxiety because we believe we have to figure everything out alone. But when you maintain regular connection with Source, you're constantly remembering your true nature. You're tapping into a wisdom that's far greater than your worried mind. You're accessing a love that dissolves fear. You're connecting with a power that can arrange circumstances in ways your logical mind could never imagine. This remembering is what allows miracles to flow naturally into your life. Your natural state is one of being connected and supported. Think about how effortlessly a flower knows how to bloom, how naturally a bird knows how to build its nest, how instinctively a baby knows how to reach for love. There's an intelligence within all of life that knows exactly what to do and when to do it. You have access to this same intelligence. When you call on Source regularly, you're aligning yourself with this natural flow of life. The reason frequency of connection matters so much is that it creates a new normal for your consciousness. Instead of connection being a special occasion, it becomes your default state. Instead of feeling supported only during your meditation time, you feel supported while you're doing dishes, driving to work, having difficult conversations, or facing unexpected challenges. This consistent connection creates a foundation of trust that becomes unshakable. Now, let's explore why repetitive spiritual practices have such transformative power. Your mind is like a beautiful garden that will grow whatever seeds you plant most consistently. If you plant seeds of worry, fear, and limitation 90 times a day, but seeds of trust and connection only once, guess which crop will dominate your experience? But when you reverse this ratio, when you plant seeds of connection and trust throughout your day, your entire inner landscape begins to change. Every time you call on Source, you're creating new pathways in your consciousness. You're training your mind to turn toward love instead of fear, toward trust instead of worry, toward connection instead of separation. These new pathways become stronger and more automatic with repetition. Eventually, calling on Source becomes as natural as breathing. You find yourself automatically turning to this support without even thinking about it. The number 100 isn't magic, but it represents a commitment to consistent, frequent connection. When you set the intention to call on Source 100 times throughout your day, you're ensuring that you're never more than a few minutes away from remembering who you are and whose you are. This frequency of connection creates what I like to call a miracle consciousness. You begin to expect good things to happen. You start looking for signs of love and support everywhere. And when you're looking for miracles, you'll find them everywhere. This practice also works on a very deep level to heal old patterns of struggle and separation. Many of us learned early in life that we had to work hard for everything, that love was conditional, that we weren't worthy of ease and flow. These old programs run automatically in our subconscious minds, creating experiences that match these limiting beliefs. But when you repeatedly call on Source, you're installing new programs. You're teaching your subconscious mind that support is always available, that love is your birthright, that you deserve to live with ease and grace. Repetitive spiritual practice also helps you move through the natural resistance that arises when you're changing old patterns. Your ego mind is comfortable with struggle because it's familiar. When you start to create a life of greater ease and miracles, your ego might resist because it doesn't know how to navigate this new territory. But when you have a consistent practice of connecting with Source, you have an anchor of truth to hold on to during these times of transition. The beautiful thing about calling on Source throughout your day is that it transforms your entire relationship with time and routine. Instead of feeling like your day is a series of tasks to get through, each moment becomes an opportunity for sacred connection. Instead of feeling rushed and stressed, you find pockets of peace and presence throughout your day. Instead of feeling alone with your challenges, you feel supported and guided in every situation. This consistent connection also creates what scientists call a coherent energy field around you. When your heart, mind, and spirit are aligned with Source energy, you literally become a magnet for positive experiences. People are drawn to your peaceful presence. Opportunities align with your path. Solutions appear for problems that seemed impossible. This isn't wishful thinking. It's the natural result of living in alignment with the loving intelligence that orchestrates all of life. When people first hear about calling on Source 100 times a day, they often wonder how this could possibly fit into their busy lives. The beautiful truth is that connecting with Source doesn't require you to stop what you're doing, find a quiet room, or set aside large blocks of time. In fact, the most powerful connections often happen in the midst of your daily activities, woven seamlessly into the fabric of your ordinary moments. Let me share with you some simple, natural ways to call on Source that require no special equipment, no perfect conditions, and no spiritual expertise. The first and perhaps most powerful method is simply saying thank you to Source throughout your day. When you wake up and your feet touch the floor, you can silently say, "Thank you, Source, for this new day." When you turn on the water in your shower, thank you for this clean, warm water. When you see a beautiful cloud, a friendly face, or find a good parking space, thank you, Source. Each expression of gratitude is a call to Source, a recognition of the blessings that are constantly flowing into your life. Another beautiful way to connect is through what I call help me prayers. These don't need to be formal or elaborate. As you're stuck in traffic, you can simply think, "Source, help me find peace in this moment." Before a difficult conversation, "Source, help me speak with love." When you're feeling overwhelmed, "Source, help me remember that I don't have to carry this alone." These simple requests open the channels for Source energy to flow through your situation, bringing you exactly what you need. You can also call on Source through moments of conscious breathing. While you're waiting in line at the store, take a deep breath and feel Source energy filling your lungs and spreading throughout your body. While you're walking from your car to your destination, breathe consciously and invite Source to walk with you. While you're washing dishes or folding laundry, let your breathing become a prayer. Each inhale bringing in love and support, each exhale releasing any tension or worry. One of my favorite ways to stay connected is through loving observations. As you go through your day, you can silently acknowledge Source in everything you see. "Source, I see you in this beautiful tree." "Source, I feel you in this warm sunshine." "Source, I recognize you in this person's kind smile." This practice trains your mind to look for the divine in the ordinary, and what you look for, you will find. Creating sacred pauses throughout your day is another powerful practice. These don't need to be long meditation sessions. A sacred pause can be as simple as stopping for 30 seconds before you walk into a meeting and silently saying, "Source, please guide me in this interaction." It can be taking 3 conscious breaths before you start your car and asking Source to travel with you. It can be pausing before you open your computer and inviting Source to inspire your work. You can integrate Source connection into your daily routines by turning ordinary activities into prayer. When you're brushing your teeth, you can think, "Source, thank you for my health and vitality." When you're making your bed, "Source, thank you for rest and renewal." When you're preparing food, "Source, bless this nourishment for my body." Every routine activity becomes an opportunity for sacred connection. The key to making this practice effortless and joyful is to start small and build gradually. Don't pressure yourself to reach 100 connections on your first day. Begin with 10 or 20 conscious connections and let the practice grow naturally. Some days you might connect 50 times. Other days you might reach 150. The number isn't as important as the consistency and the heart behind your practice. You can also use transition moments as natural cues for connection. Every time you walk through a doorway, silently call on Source. Every time your phone rings, take a breath and invite Source's presence before you answer. Every time you wash your hands, let the water remind you of Source's cleansing love. These transition moments happen naturally throughout your day. making them perfect anchors for your spiritual practice. Remember that calling on Source can be silent, spoken aloud, or even sung. You might find yourself humming a little song of gratitude while you're cooking or speaking words of appreciation aloud while you're driving alone in your car. The form doesn't matter as much as the genuine intention to connect with the loving presence that surrounds you always. Now, let's talk about how this practice transforms ordinary moments into something sacred and miraculous. When you begin to consciously invite Source into your everyday activities, something magical happens. The mundane becomes meaningful. The routine becomes sacred. The ordinary becomes extraordinary. This shift in perception is where miracles begin to unfold. Think about washing dishes, something most people consider a chore. But when you wash dishes while calling on Source, the warm, soapy water becomes a blessing for your hands. The act of cleaning becomes a metaphor for purification and renewal. The mindful attention to each plate and cup becomes a meditation. You're no longer just washing dishes. You're participating in a sacred act of care and gratitude. This shift in awareness elevates not just the activity, but your entire state of being. The same transformation can happen with any activity. When you're stuck in traffic and you call on Source, suddenly you're not just trapped in your car. You're being given a gift of stillness in your busy day. You have unexpected time to breathe, to appreciate the music on your radio, to send love to the other drivers around you. The traffic becomes a teacher of patience rather than a source of frustration. When you're cleaning your house while connected to Source, you're not just moving dust and dirt. You're creating a sacred space for yourself and your loved ones. You're participating in the ancient holy act of creating order and beauty. Every surface you clean with love becomes an altar. Every room you tend becomes a sanctuary. This practice helps you discover the divine in experiences that you might have previously overlooked or taken for granted. The taste of your morning coffee becomes a moment of sensory gratitude. The feeling of soft sheets against your skin becomes a reminder of Source's desire for your comfort. The sound of rain on your roof becomes a lullaby from the universe. The laughter of children becomes the voice of Source expressing pure joy. As you develop this awareness, you begin to see that Source's support is not just available during your prayer time or when you're in crisis. Source's love and care are woven into every moment of your existence. The sun that warms your face is Source loving you. The food that nourishes your body is Source caring for you. The air that fills your lungs is Source sustaining you. When you recognize this constant presence and care, your entire life becomes a living prayer, a continuous conversation with the divine. This shift in perception also changes how you relate to challenges and difficulties. When something unexpected happens, instead of immediately going into fear or frustration, you can pause and ask, Source, how are you loving me through this experience? What are you trying to show me? How can I grow through this situation? This doesn't mean that challenges aren't real or that they don't sometimes hurt. It means that you're training yourself to look for the love and wisdom that can be found even in difficult experiences. Building this awareness of constant spiritual support creates what I like to call a miracle lifestyle. You stop waiting for special occasions to feel blessed and start recognizing the blessings that are already present in every ordinary moment. You stop looking for miracles only in dramatic healings or sudden windfalls and start seeing miracles in the perfect timing of a phone call, the unexpected kindness of a stranger, or the way a solution appears just when you need it most. Now, let's address something that naturally comes up when people begin this practice. You might find yourself experiencing doubt or resistance. And I want you to know that this is completely normal and actually a sign that you're growing. When you start to change old patterns and create new ways of being, your mind might resist because change can feel scary even when it's positive change. Your logical mind might say things like, "This is silly. How can saying thank you 100 times a day really change anything?" Or, "I don't have time for this." Or, "What if this doesn't work for me?" These doubting thoughts aren't bad or wrong. They're just old programming trying to keep you safe in familiar territory. The key is to acknowledge these thoughts with kindness while continuing with your practice. Anyway, when doubt arises, you can gently say to yourself, "Thank you, mind, for trying to protect me, but I'm choosing to try something new. I'm willing to experiment with this practice and see what happens." You don't have to argue with your doubts or try to convince your mind that this will work. You just have to be willing to try it anyway. Sometimes resistance shows up as forgetfulness. You might start the day with great intentions to call on Source regularly, but then you get caught up in your routine and realize at bedtime that you only connected a few times. This is also completely normal. Instead of judging yourself, simply start again the next day. Each day is a new opportunity to practice. Each moment is a fresh chance to connect. Some people worry that they're not doing it right or that their connection isn't deep enough or spiritual enough. But there is no wrong way to call on Source. Whether you whisper, "Help me," while you're making coffee, or you pause to feel gratitude while you're watching a sunset, you're doing it perfectly. Source receives every genuine attempt at connection with complete love and acceptance. Resistance might also show up as a feeling that you don't deserve this kind of support or that you're not spiritual enough for this practice. These feelings often come from old beliefs about unworthiness that many of us learned early in life. When these feelings arise, this is actually the perfect time to call on Source. You can say, "Source, I'm feeling unworthy right now. Please help me remember my true nature as your beloved child." The beautiful thing about this practice is that it works whether you feel like it or not. You don't have to be in a good mood to call on Source. You don't have to feel spiritual or enlightened. You can connect with Source when you're angry, sad, confused, or frustrated. In fact, these are often the times when calling on Source can be most transformative. Source loves you in all of your human emotions and experiences. Building faith through small, consistent steps is like learning to walk. A baby doesn't start by running a marathon. They start by taking one wobbly step, then another, then another. Your spiritual practice works the same way. Each time you remember to call on Source, you're taking a step. Each time you choose connection over separation, you're building your faith muscles. Each time you ask for help, instead of trying to control everything, you're developing trust. You might start to notice small signs that Source is responding to your calls for connection. Maybe you find the perfect parking space right when you need it. Maybe someone calls just when you were thinking about them. Maybe you feel a wave of peace wash over you during a stressful moment. These aren't coincidences. They're Source's way of letting you know that your calls are being heard and answered. The key is to celebrate these small signs rather than dismissing them. When you acknowledge and appreciate the small ways Source shows up in your life, you're inviting more of these experiences. You're training your mind to notice the constant flow of love and support that surrounds you always. As you continue with this practice of calling on Source throughout your day, one of the most beautiful shifts that happens is that you begin to see miracles everywhere. But here's what I want you to understand about miracles. They're not always the dramatic, life-changing events that we see in movies. Most miracles are quiet, gentle, and woven so naturally into the fabric of your daily life that you might miss them if you're not paying attention. A miracle might be the way your child's fever breaks, just as you're starting to really worry. It might be the unexpected check that arrives right when your car needs repairs. It might be the way a difficult relationship suddenly becomes easier after you've been calling on Source for guidance. It might be the perfect book that falls into your hands exactly when you need its message. It might be the way you sleep peacefully through the night after weeks of insomnia, simply because you ask Source to bring you rest. When you start looking for miracles with this expanded awareness, you'll be amazed at how many are already present in your life. Think about the miracle of your heart beating without you having to remember to make it beat. Consider the miracle of your body healing a cut without you having to instruct each cell what to do. Notice the miracle of how the right people seem to show up in your life at exactly the right time. Observe the miracle of how nature provides everything that's needed for life to flourish. The more you acknowledge these everyday miracles, the more they multiply. It's as if Source is delighted that you're finally noticing all the love and care that's been flowing to you all along. When you say thank you for the small miracles, you're sending a signal to the universe that you're ready and grateful for more. This gratitude creates a beautiful spiral of abundance, where miracles seem to attract more miracles. Sometimes miracles come in the form of what seems like problems or challenges. You might lose a job only to find a better one that you would never have looked for otherwise. You might go through a difficult period in a relationship that ultimately brings you closer together. You might face a health challenge that leads you to discover a more loving way of caring for your body. When you're connected to Source, you begin to trust that even the difficult experiences are somehow serving your highest good. Learning to recognize miracles also means paying attention to the subtle guidance that Source provides. You might feel drawn to take a different route to work and later discover that your usual route was blocked by an accident. You might think of someone unexpectedly and then run into them at the grocery store, leading to an important conversation. You might feel inspired to call a friend who turns out to be having a difficult day and really needs to hear a loving voice. This guidance often comes through your intuition, that gentle inner knowing that speaks more softly than your thinking mind, but with greater wisdom. As you practice calling on Source regularly, your intuition becomes stronger and clearer. You learn to distinguish between the voice of fear that tries to keep you small and safe and the voice of love that gently guides you toward your highest good. Synchronicities become more frequent when you're in regular contact with Source. These are those meaningful coincidences that seem too perfect to be random. You think of a song and then hear it on the radio. You need specific information and overhear exactly what you need in a conversation. You're looking for a particular item and find it on sale at the first store you visit. These synchronicities are Source's way of showing you that you're in the flow of life, that you're being guided and supported in ways that your logical mind could never orchestrate. As your practice deepens and becomes more natural, you might find yourself ready for what I call advanced practices. These aren't more complicated techniques, but rather a more intimate and flowing relationship with Source energy. One of the most beautiful advanced practices is learning to have conversations with Source throughout your day. Instead of just asking for help or saying thank you, you begin to share your thoughts, feelings, and experiences as you would with a beloved friend. You might find yourself silently telling Source about your hopes and dreams while you're walking in nature. You might share your concerns about your children while you're preparing their lunch. You might express your excitement about a new opportunity while you're getting dressed for an important meeting. This ongoing dialogue creates a sense of companionship that makes you feel less alone and more supported in every aspect of your life. Another beautiful advanced practice is learning to feel Source energy in your body. As you call on Source, you might begin to notice physical sensations that accompany this connection. Some people feel warmth in their chest, others feel a tingling sensation. Still others feel a sense of expansion or lightness. These physical sensations are your body's way of recognizing and welcoming Source energy. Pay attention to these feelings and learn to invite them by simply thinking of Source with love. Developing what I call Source vision is another wonderful advanced practice. This means learning to see the world through the eyes of love rather than the eyes of fear. When you encounter someone who seems angry or difficult, instead of reacting with your own frustration, you might silently think, Source, help me see this person through your eyes of love. Often you'll suddenly see their pain, their fear, or their need for kindness. And your entire response to them will shift as your connection with Source becomes more natural and automatic. You'll find that you don't need to think as much about calling on Source because you're already living in that connected state. You wake up feeling Source's presence. You move through your day knowing you're supported. You face challenges with a deep trust that everything is working out for your highest good. This doesn't mean you never feel human emotions or face difficulties, but it means you're never facing them alone. Creating personal rituals that feel meaningful to you can also deepen your practice. You might develop a morning routine where you spend a few minutes in gratitude before getting out of bed. You might create an evening practice where you review your day and acknowledge all the ways Source showed up for you. You might establish a weekly practice of spending time in nature while consciously connecting with the Source energy that flows through all living things. Building unshakable trust in divine timing is perhaps one of the most advanced aspects of this practice. When you're deeply connected to Source, you begin to understand that everything unfolds in perfect timing, even when it doesn't match your personal timeline. You learn to hold your desires lightly, trusting that Source knows the perfect moment for everything to manifest. This trust brings tremendous peace because you're no longer trying to force things to happen according to your schedule. As you embody this deep connection with Source, something magical happens. You become what I like to call a miracle magnet. Your very presence begins to uplift and inspire others. People are drawn to your peaceful energy. They feel safe in your presence. They find themselves sharing their hearts with you because they sense your connection to something greater than yourself. You become a conduit for miracles in other people's lives simply by maintaining your own connection to Source. Your words carry more healing power because they're spoken from a place of love. Your presence brings comfort because you're radiating the peace that comes from knowing you're never alone. Your actions create positive ripple effects because they're guided by wisdom rather than fear. This doesn't mean you become perfect or that you never have challenging days. It means that even on your difficult days, you remain connected to something larger than your temporary feelings. You become someone who can hold space for others' pain without getting lost in it yourself. You become someone who can offer hope because you know from experience that Source is always working on our behalf. When you're living as a miracle magnet, you naturally inspire others to seek their own connection with Source. They see the peace in your eyes, the joy in your smile, the ease with which you move through challenges, and they want to know your secret. You don't have to preach or teach. You simply live as an example of what's possible when someone maintains regular connection with the source of all love and wisdom. Maintaining your practice during challenging times becomes easier when you understand that these are often the times when Source is closest to you. When life feels overwhelming, your practice of calling on Source becomes an anchor that keeps you steady in the storm. When grief touches your heart, Source becomes the comfort that helps you heal. When fear tries to take over your mind, Source becomes the voice of truth that reminds you of your strength and resilience. The ripple effects of your practice extend far beyond your own life. When you're connected to Source, you're contributing to the healing of the world. Your peace adds to the collective peace. Your love contributes to the healing of humanity. Your trust in the goodness of life helps others remember their own faith. You become part of the solution, part of the light that helps illuminate the darkness. My beautiful friend, as we come to the end of our time together today, I want you to know how proud I am of you for being open to this practice. The very fact that you're here listening to these words shows that your heart is ready for the miracles that are waiting for you. The willingness to call on Source, to open yourself to connection, to trust in love rather than fear, is one of the bravest and most powerful choices you can make. I want to encourage you to start gently with this practice. Don't pressure yourself to be perfect. Don't worry if you forget sometimes, or if you don't reach 100 connections in a day. What matters is that you begin. What matters is that you're willing to try. What matters is that you're choosing to remember your true nature as a beloved child of the universe, worthy of all good things. The journey of regular connection with Source will transform your life in ways you can't even imagine right now. You'll find yourself feeling more peaceful, more joyful, more trusting. You'll discover that solutions appear more easily, that relationships become more harmonious, that opportunities align with your path. You'll experience the deep satisfaction that comes from knowing you're living in partnership with the loving intelligence that created everything. Remember that every time you call on Source, you're not just helping yourself. You're contributing to the healing and upliftment of all life. You're adding your voice to the chorus of souls who are choosing love over fear, connection over separation, trust over worry. You're becoming part of the miracle that you want to see in the world. I'll close with this simple affirmation that you can carry with you always. I am connected to Source. I am loved beyond measure. I am guided in every moment. Miracles are natural in my life. Take these words into your heart and let them remind you of the truth of who you are. May you feel Source's love surrounding you always. May you recognize the miracles that are already present in your life. May you trust in the perfect unfolding of your path. And may your life become a beautiful testament to the power of living in connection with the source of all love. You are so deeply loved, my dear friend. Never forget that your words are powerful. The energy they carry shapes your thoughts, your emotions, and your experiences. The way you speak to yourself every morning sets the tone for how the rest of your day will unfold. Imagine starting your day with kindness, encouragement, and love toward yourself. This is the secret to attracting all you desire. The universe listens to your thoughts and words. It's not about wishing or hoping for things to come into your life, but about recognizing the abundance and possibilities already present. When you speak to yourself with love and belief, you are affirming your worth and your ability to create a life of peace, joy, and success. Each new day is a chance to begin again. It's an opportunity to reset, to remind yourself of the limitless potential you hold within. By speaking positively to yourself in the morning, you set a strong foundation for everything that follows. The universe responds to your energy. It gives back what you send out. When you begin the day by speaking words of encouragement, you open the door for amazing opportunities, love, and blessings to enter your life. You already have everything you need to create the life you dream of. The key is to recognize your own power. It lies within you, and it is waiting to be activated. When you speak to yourself with positivity and confidence, you align your thoughts with your desires. This alignment is the first step in attracting all that you desire. You are the creator of your reality, and it starts with the way you speak to yourself. What you say to yourself has an impact far beyond what you might imagine. The words you use are seeds that grow into the reality you experience. When you tell yourself that you are strong, capable, and deserving, you plant those seeds in your mind and in your heart. Over time, they take root and manifest in your actions, decisions, and the way you interact with the world. Self-talk is the most powerful tool you have for creating your life. If you tell yourself you can't do something, you are limiting yourself before you even try. But when you speak words of belief, you open up endless possibilities. Words like, I am worthy, I am capable, I am deserving, set the stage for you to step into your true potential. The more you repeat these positive affirmations, the more you will start to believe them. Your mind begins to trust what you tell it. And soon, these words become your reality. Positive self-talk is not about ignoring challenges or pretending everything is perfect. It's about shifting your focus to what you can control, your thoughts, your mindset, and your reactions. When you speak to yourself with kindness and confidence, you build a strong inner foundation that can withstand anything life throws your way. Instead of focusing on fear or doubt, focus on your strength and your ability to overcome any obstacle. When you do this consistently, you start to see changes in how you feel and in the opportunities that show up in your life. The key is repetition. Your mind needs time to adjust and fully believe the new words you're saying. At first, it may feel unnatural, but over time, you'll notice a shift. The more you speak positive words, the more you begin to align with them. You will start to see yourself in a new light, and as you do, you'll realize that you are capable of achieving everything you desire. Positive self-talk is the foundation for all the good that is coming your way. Gratitude is the key that unlocks the door to abundance. When you wake up in the morning before your mind begins to wander, or you get caught up in the rush of the day, take a moment to express gratitude. Gratitude shifts your energy from lack to abundance. It shifts your focus from what is missing to what you already have. And that shift makes all the difference in your life. Start by simply saying, thank you. Thank you for the gift of a new day. Thank you for the breath in your lungs, the warmth of the sun, and the love that surrounds you. Gratitude has the power to transform your mindset and your energy. It helps you see the world in a new light, where opportunities and blessings are everywhere. When you focus on what you are thankful for, you invite more of it into your life. Gratitude also helps you to feel at peace. It calms your mind and your heart, reminding you that everything you need is already within reach. It encourages you to be present, to be mindful of the small moments that bring you joy, and to appreciate the simple things. As you express gratitude each morning, you begin your day with a sense of fulfillment. You start your day with the knowing that you are already whole and complete, and that the universe is conspiring in your favor. The act of gratitude is an immediate shift from a mindset of scarcity to one of abundance. When you choose gratitude over worry, fear, or doubt, you are aligning yourself with the flow of positive energy. You begin to see the world through a lens of possibility where anything can happen. Gratitude is not just a feeling. It is an energy that you can carry with you throughout your day. It is an energy that invites more blessings and opportunities to flow to you. And all it takes is a simple thank you. The way you speak to yourself can either lift you up or bring you down. When you choose words that are gentle, loving, and kind, you nurture your soul. Speaking to yourself with love is a practice, a conscious decision to treat yourself with the same care and respect you would offer a friend. Too often, we are quick to criticize ourselves, to focus on our perceived flaws, or to dwell on past mistakes. But when you speak to yourself with kindness, you create a safe space for growth and healing. Start by recognizing your worth. Remind yourself each day that you are deserving of love and respect just as you are. Your inner dialogue should reflect that truth. Rather than tearing yourself down, build yourself up with affirmations of self-compassion. Say, I am proud of who I am. I am enough. I am doing my best, and that is more than enough. When you speak these words to yourself, they become the foundation of your self-esteem and self-worth. With each loving word, you reinforce your value and you invite more positivity into your life. Kindness toward yourself also allows you to embrace imperfections. It's important to acknowledge that we all have areas where we can grow, but that doesn't make us any less worthy of love. Speak to yourself with understanding and patience. Recognize that mistakes are part of the journey and they are opportunities to learn and evolve. By treating yourself with kindness, you create a nurturing environment where you can flourish. The language of love is powerful. When you speak to yourself with love and kindness, you attract people and experiences that mirror that energy. The universe responds to the vibrations you put out. If you send out love, you will receive love in return. If you treat yourself with compassion, you will attract compassion from others. Speak to yourself as you would speak to someone you deeply care about and watch how your life transforms. Your desires are important. They are not selfish or unworthy. They are a reflection of your true self and the life you are meant to live. When you affirm your desires, you are aligning with the universe's abundant flow and opening the door to receive all that you want. The universe wants to give you everything you need to live a joyful and fulfilling life, but it needs you to ask and believe that you are deserving of it. Affirmations are a powerful tool for manifesting your desires. They are not just words. They are declarations of your belief in the possibility of your dreams. Each time you affirm your desires, you are sending a clear message to the universe that you are ready and open to receive. Say to yourself, I am worthy of all that I desire. I attract abundance and opportunities. My dreams are already coming true. These affirmations create a strong, energetic vibration that aligns you with your goals. When you affirm your desires, you are not just wishing for something. You are taking ownership of what you want. Affirmations help to remove doubt and fear. They remind you that you are in control of your own life and that you have the power to create the future you desire. By repeating these affirmations daily, you start to believe in the possibility of your dreams, and that belief brings them into your reality. Affirmations are not just about speaking words. They are about embodying the energy of what you want to attract. When you affirm your desires, feel the excitement and gratitude as if they are already happening. Allow yourself to experience the emotions of already having what you desire. This feeling of gratitude and excitement will help to speed up the manifestation process as you are sending out the vibration of abundance and positivity. Negative thoughts can block the flow of abundance in your life. They create resistance and prevent you from moving forward. It's important to recognize when negative thoughts arise and to choose not to give them power. The moment you catch yourself thinking negatively, remind yourself that you have the ability to shift your focus. Instead of feeding those thoughts with energy, replace them with positive affirmations and empowering beliefs. It's natural to have negative thoughts from time to time, but they don't have to control your life. The key is not to resist them, but to acknowledge them and then let them go. When you resist negative thoughts, you are giving them more power. Instead, simply observe them and say, I release this thought. It no longer serves me. In that moment, you are choosing peace over worry, love over fear. When you release negative thoughts, you create space for positivity and light to enter. The more you practice this, the easier it becomes to let go of negativity. Over time, you'll notice that your mind becomes more attuned to positive thoughts and solutions. Your mind will naturally gravitate toward thoughts that empower you and support your desires. Remember that your thoughts are not who you are. They are temporary, and you have the power to change them. When you consciously release negativity, you begin to reclaim your power. You start to see life through a lens of possibility, where challenges are opportunities for growth, and every experience is a chance to align more closely with your true self. Trust is the foundation upon which everything is built. When you trust the process of life, you are surrendering to the flow of the universe, knowing that it is always working in your favor. There may be moments of doubt, moments when things don't seem to be unfolding the way you imagined, but trust is what keeps you grounded. Trust that everything is happening exactly as it should, even when it doesn't seem clear at the moment. Every experience, every challenge, and every success is part of a greater plan that is unfolding perfectly for you. When you trust the process, you release the need to control every outcome. This doesn't mean you stop taking action, but rather that you stop stressing over how things will turn out. You start to believe that the universe has your back and that it is guiding you toward your highest good. You allow yourself to flow with the current of life, knowing that the right opportunities, the right people, and the right circumstances will appear at the perfect time. Trusting the process is an act of faith. It is a reminder that you are not alone in this journey. There is a higher force at work, and it is working for you. When you let go of fear and trust that everything is aligning perfectly, you open yourself to receiving all the blessings the universe has in store for you. You stop resisting and start allowing. This is when the magic begins to happen. The key to trusting the process is patience. Sometimes the answers and opportunities we seek don't come immediately, but that doesn't mean they are not on their way. Trust that the universe is always working behind the scenes to bring you exactly what you need. As you trust the process, you'll begin to see things fall into place in ways you never imagined. Trusting yourself and the universe will bring peace to your heart and confidence to your journey. You are worthy of all the good things that life has to offer. Too often, we hold ourselves back because we don't feel deserving of success, happiness, or love. We may have been taught that we must earn everything, that we must prove ourselves worthy. But the truth is, you were born worthy. Your worth is not tied to your accomplishments or to how others see you. It is intrinsic, a part of who you are at your core. Embracing your worthiness means accepting that you deserve to live a life of joy, abundance, and peace. It means knowing that you are deserving of love, kindness, success, and all the wonderful things that life has to offer. Start by saying to yourself each day, I am worthy of all the good things life has to offer. I deserve to be happy. I am deserving of love and success. These affirmations will help you internalize your worthiness and change the way you see yourself. When you embrace your worth, you stop settling for less than you deserve. You stop allowing others to treat you in ways that do not reflect your value. You begin to make choices that honor your worth and align with the life you desire. Your worthiness is not something you have to earn, it is simply who you are. By embracing this truth, you open the door to a life filled with abundance, love, and opportunity. Embracing your worthiness also means letting go of the need for external validation. You no longer seek approval from others because you know deep down that you are enough just as you are. When you step into your worth, you radiate confidence and attract the experiences and people that reflect the love and respect you have for yourself. You are worthy, and when you truly believe that, your life begins to reflect that truth. Visualization is one of the most powerful tools for manifestation. When you take a moment each morning to close your eyes and imagine the life you desire, you are sending a clear message to the universe about what you want to attract. Visualization helps to bring your desires into focus. It creates a vivid picture of your dreams and helps you feel the emotions associated with having them. This process strengthens your belief that your dreams are not only possible but inevitable. Take some time each day to picture yourself living your ideal life. See yourself in the job or career you want, surrounded by loving relationships, enjoying health and vitality, and experiencing abundance in all forms. Imagine every detail in as much depth as possible. How does it feel? What emotions are you experiencing? Allow yourself to fully immerse in the vision of your perfect life. This practice helps to align your energy with your desires. And when your energy is aligned with what you want, it is much easier to manifest it. Visualization also helps to bring clarity to your goals. It allows you to see what is truly important to you and to set intentions that are in alignment with your heart's desires. When you visualize regularly, you begin to see opportunities in your waking life that you might have missed before. You begin to notice signs and synchronicities that guide you toward your goals. When you visualize, remember that your dreams are valid and worthy of pursuit. Don't limit yourself by thinking that your desires are out of reach. The more you visualize, the more you believe in the possibility of your dreams. As you continue to picture your ideal life, you are sending out a powerful signal to the universe that you are ready to receive all that you have asked for. Dreams don't come true by wishful thinking alone. While affirmations, trust, and visualization are powerful, they must be paired with action. But not just any action, inspired action. This is the type of action that feels aligned with your heart and intuition, the steps that excite you and move you toward your desires effortlessly. Inspired action does not feel like struggle. It does not come from a place of force or desperation. Instead, it is a natural response to the clarity you've gained from your affirmations and visualizations. When you align yourself with the energy of what you desire, ideas and opportunities will begin to flow toward you. Pay attention to them. That inner voice telling you to reach out to someone, take a certain step, or try something new, that is your guidance leading you. Sometimes, inspired action is small, like researching a new career path, making a phone call, or journaling your next steps. Other times, it's bold, taking a leap of faith, starting a new project, or making a big change. Whatever it is, trust that when you take action with belief and alignment, the universe will support you. One step at a time, you will move closer to everything you desire. Let go of the fear of failure. There is no wrong step when you are following your intuition. Even if things don't unfold exactly as you expected, every action teaches you something. Every experience shapes your journey. The more you act on inspiration, the more confident you become. Action transforms your dreams from thoughts into reality. And as you continue, momentum builds. Your desires become not just something you think about, but something you live. You have the power to create a life filled with love, abundance, and happiness. The way you speak to yourself shapes your reality. The beliefs you hold determine what you attract. The trust you cultivate in the universe allows miracles to unfold. Every affirmation, every kind word to yourself, every thought of possibility is a seed you plant in the garden of your life. Now it's time to step fully into your power. Choose to speak to yourself with love and encouragement. Affirm your worth, your desires, and your dreams. Release negativity, trust the process, and take inspired action. The universe is always responding to you, always guiding you toward the life you are meant to live. Every moment is a new opportunity, a new chance to align yourself with joy, love, and abundance. Begin today. Speak to yourself with the same love and confidence you would offer a dear friend. Because when you do, you invite all the beauty, success, and happiness that life has to offer. Everything you desire is already on its way to you. Believe it, receive it.